Back. Happy Thursday. Final hour session, 3 p.m. just after 3 p.m. It is the 26th. We are wrapping up the final week of June here. Thursday, Friday, markets making fresh highs once again. NASDAQ has officially hit all-time highs. S&P is still just within a couple of points. I think actually today it did poke the all-time highs. I'm seeing a intraday price right around 215 today. That was around 6144.61. And I believe the previous high before that was around 6143. So all-time highs. I do have a couple of trades pending. We had daily profit play hit 2 for 2 today. And I'm looking to see, I don't know if I'm going to get the credit for this one without price going up to like 6147 or 6148. Maybe a late day rejection at 6150 that might come close to hitting this level. We shall see. But I'm hoping that price will stay ultimately below 6150 today. So let me get this out of the way here. Looking at some of the levels, 6140, 6150 was watching these levels. We zoom out. Let's go 30-minute chart. Let me check the exact high here, 6146. Oh, maybe we're just shy of those highs. Maybe. S&P all-time high, 6147.43. That was the 19th of February, 6147. And that was Feb 19. Okay, 6147. Fast forward to today, current price, right there. So highs, 6144.66, just a couple of points shy. Meanwhile, NASDAQ, Qs, we actually poked the highs yesterday, 546. Zoom out, previous highs right around that 540 handle. So NASDAQ has inched higher by a little bit. We're talking around 1% higher on the NASDAQ. Year-to-date performance, I am curious. Let's go year-to-date QQQ. Let's go to 1 month, starting January. Okay, so April was the big crazy indecision candle. We started here in January. So the year started right around 514, pulled back around 21%. Currently, the year NASDAQ is up around 6.34%. Okay, so we've got some gains on the NASDAQ. We've got some gains for the year on the S&P, around 3.6%. And big question in everyone's mind is there room to go higher? So we shall see. It wouldn't be a huge surprise to see it go higher. Probably the closest thing I can compare this to, just based on how this whole year played out so far, would be take a trip down memory lane to COVID time back in 2020 when the market was down aggressively. Peak to trough is around 25 to 35%. We had a dip of around 35%. And once we got back to those highs, we did break those highs. So we had previous all-time highs. Market was up around 4% higher, 3 to 4% higher, ended up getting about 6% higher, and then fell. This correction right here was about 10%. Had about a 10% correction, had about an 8.5% correction, and then the market decided, you know what? There's resistance. This is enough to shake us out and really cause a big correction. So what happens? Proceeded higher. And that was the rest of 2020 into 2021. So just a big old melt up year. 2020, we kind of got through the COVID crash. Market melted up like crazy. Tipped out in around November to January 2021 to 2022. Then, of course, we had a decent correction in 2022 through the markets. That took about 2 years to overcome. So here we are, 2025, near all-time highs. I've got the SPY level at 613, current price 611, just shy of it. Just looking at this stuff every day, market just doesn't really seem to want to stop. Not yet. Not unless price suggests something otherwise. Not until price is coming back and filling some gaps, Are there dips to buy? Is it sweeping any lows? I mean, if SPX comes back below 59.50, I would kind of question this bull market, at least in the near term. But if it's just higher highs and higher lows, likely the case. So seasonality wise, July is typically a bullish month. See if I can find a couple images here. What else? That's not it. All right. I'll find it elsewhere. Okay, let's have a look. So here we are, 61.40, 61.39, final 50 minutes of trading. 2 for 2 on the day for daily profit play. We ended up grabbing about 17, a little bit less than that. I grabbed $50 out of max risk would have been around, I guess, about 10%. Grabbed about two 10% winners. Wasn't terribly difficult. We had a directional day for the most part. I know some morning traders, we go back to the 5-minute chart, some morning traders in daily profit play. There's enough chop in the morning for this first, roughly 30 to 35 minutes. A few traders grabbing some profit. It stayed pretty sideways, even kind of centered until about 11:35. So good trading this morning on daily profit play. I had a trade on pinch point scanner fill today. I took 3 winners out of my waterfall income today. Waterfall income, we closed out a QQQ trade for a winner. We closed out an SPX trade for a winner and closed out a SPY trade for a winner. That gives me 1 and 2 positions open of the 5 that I had this week. So 2 positions open, some buying power back, and ready to tackle the markets for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 days with waterfall income. Pinch point scanner had a trade filled. That was SEIC, trade number 21, added it into the tracker today. ULS is still pending. We have some decent profits that are running. I just did a spot check on pinch point scanner today. So we have, let's see here. Hedges, copper, that trade took a loss today for $90. The hedge is still running out to August, October. So August, October, and December hedges right now for my accounts. AVGO down a smidge. COHR same. Dell up about 17%. If Dell gets to like 25, 30%, I'll probably end up taking some profit. I've got the 50% already set up, but took that one on pinch point looking okay. Just want to hit, I like the 30 to 50% take profits. DJT is down $20. Go is down $20. HPE down $30, down 13. Intel sold a covered call at 22.50, just pulling some income out of this one for July 3rd, which is going to be next week on Thursday. This could get called away, which is okay. I'll get the buying power back if I wanted to go called away, or I might just roll the call a couple of times and see if I can keep it around that 22.50 handle. Jazz down 45, JetBlue. KView's up around 40%. So my target's 50. I don't really want to micromanage this trade, but let me see if I can close this thing down for $2. Spread, actually, let's go 205. See if the spread is large enough to close this thing out for us. 205. All right, got filled at 205. That was 5 cents away from my take profit anyway. So I'm going to add this in for pinch point, taking another winner on KVUE. This is trade number 5, 140, closing out at 205. Taking the winner. .4% return on risk. Oops. Okay, taking profit 0.05 away from limit order. All right, let me update this in the spreadsheet. Done. Let me update this for my Telegram. Let's see here. This is pinch point. Trade management update. KView. Trade number 5. Entry $1.40 debit. Closing 205 credit. Filled. This is taking 46.4% return on risk. 0.05 away from the broker take profit. Closing manually. Okay, taking the winner there. Nick, we'll take a look. Sure, I'll look at currency strength today. Update here for pinch point. Winner on KView. Closed now. 46.4% return on risk. Member trade tracker updated. Trade number 5. Okay. Taking the winner. All good there. Lift is still running up about $400 right now. I've got a cover on the July expiration to $18. Try to get this called away for like $600 or $700. MicroStrategy still up on a bull call spread. Micron, like this one for a bull call spread. This is an out of the money, up about $67. This one's out to next summer. This is actually more of like a bull call leap. NWS down a little bit. NWSA down a little bit. Oklo ratio spread. Pfizer still own the shares. Palantir sideways on pinch point. PayPal, which has been pretty volatile here, down about $50 out to August. Q's Waterfall I closed out for winter. Bear call, I'm taking a stab at it, down about $20. This one's up 17. Rocket pinch trades up about $8. Equal weight SEHW, that's a Schwab trade pinch, $17. This one filled today. It's a 90 by 95 bear call spread. Got filled for $1.65. It's actually up 15%. I'm going to try to go after a 50% time decay. See if that works out. SLV, nice chunk of profit. This one should be maxing out around $450. So I'll keep an eye on that one. This is out to January. Snapchat. Own the shares around $8.04. I'm just selling a $9 to let it get called away in case it pops up. SLV, bull put, I did that one. SoFi, pinch is looking okay, up around 30% right now. Hopefully SoFi continues to run, hits our profit target. SPX, profit on the broke wing butterfly, profit on daily profit play, profit on waterfall. One trade still running up about 70% max credit. Let that run towards expiration. SPY, waterfall closed for profit. Tesla, just have some shares. I'll ride that thing up a little bit higher. Verizon, pretty close to break even. I guess we're going to see if the call side allows it to take off a little bit through July. Maybe, maybe not. And then wheat, this one's down. Okay, so that's a quick review there. Let me go days to expiration for all accounts. I know I have this account, I believe. This is an active collar. So a 585 by 570 collar. I own the shares on the SPY with a break even of around. This trade's looking pretty good. I'm just going to take the profit. This is a 111. I'm going to take the profit. Here's up 96%. So $1.49 should be trading for like less than 10 cents. I'm going to close this thing down. 6 cents debit. 7 cents debit. Come on. 8 cents debit. Okay, so that 111 is closed. Let me see if I have that running. So that's a 575 by 571 by 485. 149 closed out for 8 cents. Still tech 149 to 141, keeping a majority of that profit. That's a 1. So 94.6% max credit on that one. Get some buy power back as well. Collar trade. This one's out to next Thursday. I'm just going to roll this out again, see if I can roll it out and up. I obviously have some wiggle room. I own the shares a little bit cheaper. Let me go SPY. So SPY 576 rolled. Break even is 573.10. So I own the shares at 573.10. If I just keep rolling, I'm up 1,200 bucks, locked in with a lot of room for error. I've got about 40 bucks worth of wiggle room, and I'll just keep generating the income there, hopefully on the SPY. Not bad. Okay, any of the trades on SPY. Let's see here. July 31st, December, covered call June 30th. This one is out to Monday. I'll roll this one as well. I'm going to close these down. So 111, I'll close this one down. 96% profit. Let me see if I can close this one down for a small debit. This is the same one. So 8 cent debit. Come on, you sneaky. There we go. 8 cent debit closed. Good. And this one here. This is for my project options edge. I'm going to close this one down. So 147 closing at 8 cents. There we go. So project options edge here. Trade management SPY 111. The entry was a 7/31 expiration. We did a buy 575 put, sell the 570 put, sell the 485 put. That was for $1.49 credit entry, and closing for 8 cents debit, keeping 94.6% max credit. Nice little win there. 111 close, 111 close, 111 closing here. Close 8 cents. There we go. This one, August 15th, up around 70%. Not sure what account this is, but if I'm at the 500 by 480, I'm okay hanging out that one a little bit longer for that particular account. If something were to happen where I can get a profit trap, I could still get a $5 bonus on this one. That's a big fat bonus. If we come down below 590, I've got a $500 bonus here plus the distance on the bear the bull put spread. This is a new account, so I mean I don't mind taking some shares of SPY on that one. And then hedges, naked put. Someone's out a while. It's up 35%. I'll let that one marinate. A lot of hedges, naked put here. Same thing, up about 35%. I'll let it marinate. I sold these. I mean, when I sold this one, it's been open for what is that, 41 days? So take us back through, mid-May. Sold the put at 475. Essentially, I had owned shares below the April lows. Okay, closing the 111s. Okay, so that's good for the SPY. TLT, we're at 87.78. I've got a covered side of my diagonal spread, so a 65 by 89. This is June 30th, which is next Monday. So we'd have to have a bit of a squeeze to get TLT up to 89, but if it is, it gets called away. I'm just trying to actively get rid of TLT. Okay, so there is TLT for now. IWM, we're up a little bit on IWM. I am still holding a big chunk of profit, up about $14,000, and covered calls at 200 that I'm just going to continue to roll. So this is out to next Monday. I'm going to roll and just grab, 50 cents or a dollar every couple of weeks and just continue to do that here. This one up about 83% of max profit. I probably don't have to do too much in this one. Again, there's a $200 profit trap. This one's all the way down to the lows at 105 to 100. We have to have a 50+% correction on the Russell for this trade to be threatened. So pretty sure the trade is safe. It would, if I owned it, I would own the IWM representing the Russell 2000 around $102 minus the credit plus a $2 debit spread. Like I'd own the Russell under $100, which is a pretty hefty discount in the next 204 days. So I'm going to leave this trade alone for right now. Those should be looking pretty good for either. I will say if this gets up, so you can see my credit here is about 205. If this is showing like $195 well before expiration, I'm just going to close it. It doesn't do me any good to leave that capital tied up and that buying power reduced when I'm only going to get an extra like 10 cents for it. So that's Russell for now. Intel, own the shares. I'm up a decent chunk in positions. I've got about $7,500 in Intel. 2250 is the call, which is actually in the money right now, and this is out to the 3rd, which is next Thursday. We do have non-farm payroll that day as well. Tesla, some shares, some covered calls, 255 covered, 280 covered, hedges just in case I need them, collar trade. Just put that one on today actually. And then bull put spreads, these are up. I'm surprised this is only up about 20%. A 190 by 130 out to January. It's like, I think Tesla's going to be okay and stay above the April lows, but you never know. Same thing here. So up about 20%. I'm not going to take it yet. I collected $5.40 on that wide spread. So I am going to ride this out time-wise as long as I can to get, maybe $450 to $500 max credit. Try to get as close to that, full as I can. Okay, JD at 33. I've got it covered out next Thursday at 36. UNG 15. I'm just going to sell again. We saw the big smash in oil this week, the big smash in natural gas. I'm just going to keep selling calls against my diagonal that's out to January. QQQ, hedge on the bear call, a 111 here that's up about 81%. This one's July 31st. 430 is not the lows. 400-ish is the lows. So these are okay. There's still about a 99.5% chance of profit. This one is way out there, up about 82%. This one's up about 82%. This one's up 82%. I'll let those ride a little bit longer. Yep, waterfall here, 82%. I'll let it do its thing. This one, ride this one out a little bit longer. Collar trade. Put this one out to August on a new account. Hedge. All right, we're good on Qs. MicroStrategy. Own the shares. I have a collar trade out to July 18th, so out to the monthly expiration, 385 by 385 by 330. The collar's up $736. I've got a decent chunk position on MicroStrategy up around $35,000, and I'm just adding like every couple of weeks. I'm probably generating close to $2,000 or $3,000 in just income by just tweaking my collar trades. So it's just a high premium stock. It's kind of a proxy to Bitcoin. I know there's risk. That's why I'm playing the collar trade versus just selling calls. And then I've got an out of the money bull call spread that's up around 89%, but this one could max out around 300 to 400%. So if we're above 400, 410, 420, this gets into triple digit gains, which is what I'm holding out for. American Airlines expirations out to July. Those are naked puts, up a decent chunk there. They'll probably just expire. Lyft, looking to see if we get up to $18. SPX, some waterfall trades still running. It's up most of the credit here. But these are also down to the April lows. So I'm just going to hang on to this one. I don't think we're coming back to April lows by July. Apple, ratio spread on Apple. This one's probably worth protecting. This is a July 18. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one. So we're at 201. 160 by 155, a $1.09 credit. I'm up $104. I mean, for me to wait for the extra 5 cents another 22 days isn't worth it when we're sitting here near the highs. Curious to hear your take on IRDM. Stock's barely budged all week, about $1 range, so it's coiled for a move. I can take a look at it, Josh. Yeah, I can take a look. All right, so let me close out this ratio spread. So 160 by 155, pulled in a $1.09. Should be trading for like 5 cents. Let me see if I can close this thing for 5 cents. Hopefully 6 is just above the mid, the ask price, or the mid, I mean. Come on, Apple. I pulled in 109, so I'm okay with like a 7-8 cents debit. Come on. All right, close it out for an 8-cent debit there. That's a 101 gain, so 101 out of 109. 92.6% on Apple. So that was a QQQ. This is an Apple trade. That was a ratio. 109, closed it for 8 cents. Okay, this one here, closing for, see if I get 7 cents. Closed at 7, good, slightly better fill. This one here, close at 7 cents. Good. Okay, and then I still have some shares covered at 180, covered at 180. Ratio close, all these are closed. Ratio here, closing, same thing. Let's close this one down for 7 cents. Done. This one closing 7 cents. Done. Good. Okay, so close out the winners on Apple. NVIDIA, have some shares. Collared out to July's expiration. I've got some wiggle room. I own the shares. My break even's like 110, 115. I'm up a couple $1,000. I'm up $14,500 on my NVIDIA ownership. I'm just trying to work some income with it. Naked puts, these are mostly in profit. I'm up about 88% max profit. I don't think NVIDIA is going to come back to $70. I'm just going to sit on this a little bit longer. 348 max, 349 max. I mean, if I'm trading for 325, 330, it doesn't really benefit me to sit around and wait for the extra 10, 15 bucks when I just take the profit. I'm up almost 88% of the max. So pretty soon. There's probably some volatility ahead, but pretty soon. That's still pretty good. I mean, if I want to buy, it's a $70 put. It's not even that expensive. But if I take, what's this going to trade for, like 40 some cents? I'm going to sit on this one for next week. So if we go through this week and still kind of stretch to highs, we go to next week through the July 4th holiday. We do have non-farm payroll on the 3rd. So maybe just a little bit of time, a little bit of sideways, maybe some melt up, more time over this weekend. Maybe these kind of sneak up to like 90% max credit, and I might take the profits there. Okay, AVGO, I put in a little tiny bear call spread this week. That's pinch, NWSA. These are pinches that I took earlier for the July 18th. SLV trading at 33. I guess I do have some covered calls in this one. I own some shares. I think this covered call is not the shares. It's in my diagonal spread. So I bull put spreads. I guess I did sell calls. Okay, so I did sell calls July 25th. Make sure I've got this all covered. So 3, 5, 8, 14, 17, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 31, 33, 3,300 shares, 5, 8, 10, 15, 18, 20, 23. So I've got about 800 shares still exposed. Covered calls at 34.50. My diagonal spreads I closed. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. The diagonal spread is what this trade is. So the January 15th $15 call is paired with the 34.50 sell call. So it's a diagonal spread, not the ownership. I own the shares. My target on SLV is like $45, $47. I think silver ends up hitting close to $50 again spot price. So I'm going to hang out to that a little bit longer. I've got some iron condors on futures to the end of July. Hopefully that works. I was thinking that, I mean, that was like a low delta call side. And then a bunch of hedges, Snapchat still waiting, covered calls and collars. Walmart, this one's out to August, collar trade. Just doing some spot checking here. Pinch is up. Naked put combos for my project options edge. This is up around 27%. We can max out around $500. Let's see here. Progressive so far looking okay with some ratio spreads. All right, let me take some requests. Any other charts, anything else you'd like to review today? We'll look at currency strength here. I do have SPX running for a couple of pending orders. I don't think we're going to get filled. The 275 was wishful thinking. We just didn't come up high enough and fast enough. I mean, I'm curious what it traded for at 61.44 today. This trade at 61.45 was probably trading for like $1.50 or so, but it wasn't. We would have had to see price get up to like 61.47 or 61.48. Then that would have possibly been filled at the credit that I wanted. I was going for that, kind of toppy, rule of 16 on the VIX, spare call spread, try to hit resistance around 61.50, but didn't hit there today. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this trade now. Final 30 minutes, I'm not really worried about the trade. I don't want to get into it. So let me cancel that one, and this trade can still pen for a broken wing butterfly. All right, that's it for the day with SPX. The market is just still in melt up mode. We're just a couple points away from all-time highs in the SPY. We're just a couple points away from all-time highs in the SPX. We are 1% plus higher on the NASDAQ. Take a look at the Dow. Dow is also like pushing pretty nicely. It's not to the all-time highs. We still have like 3, 4, 5% to get to all-time highs. That's another almost 4% to get to highs on the Dow. The Russell I still think is double digits away. So double digits, we're still about 13, almost 14% away on the Russell. I do like the Russell here. I mean, if we have a pullback to the backside of the trend line, there's some pretty strong support in here. So if the Russell offers a pullback towards like the 200 handle, I will probably start looking at some, maybe a 111 trade again down here at like the 170 handle. But I'm looking to see, does Russell play catch up and maybe try to get back to the highs. I mean, if we can have all-time highs in the S&P, all-time highs in the NASDAQ, maybe even all-time highs in the Dow, you'd like to think that the Russell could also play catch up. Okay. Dollar Swiss Euro Dollar Sir. We'll take a look at that one. NAK 33 cents sitting at $1.55. That's good, I guess, right? Did you buy a call or did you buy the shares? I'm not sure what NAK is. VIX is down to 1640 today. SVXY still melting up a little bit higher. Wow, big move on the dollar today. Again, fresh lows on the dollar. So equities up, dollars down. That correlation checks out. There's a fresh low in the dollar for the weekly time frame. There's another pretty steady push here the last 3, 4. This is like what, 4 days in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4 days selling on the dollar. We are at fresh lows. Like I said earlier, I'm still just cautious into selling that dollar weakness. I think a squeeze is likely. I don't know if that comes with like a top in the markets, but not something I'm just saying like we got to turn. We don't have to turn at all. I don't want to fade this. If you look at euro dollar, we're up to 1700. It's like, I'm not going to fade this. So, I mean, the only thing I would do on the euro dollar would be if this trend line breaks here, I would potentially sell it, to come back where maybe a pullback into like the 112, 111 handle. That'd be the same as like the DXY going back up to like 101, 101.50, 102. But it just hasn't turned. A lot of times in currencies, this pre-summer push ultimately lasts through like July, August. So it may not be like aggressive selling on the dollar, but it could be steady. There may not be a top or bottom happening until maybe August, September. So, I mean, if you're scalping, scalp. If you're not, then don't call the top or bottom too early. Like, let price give you the confirmation. Okay. All right, let's take a look at some other currencies. What else is on top today? So Japanese yen strong initially, then just kind of cluster with everything else. We've got the Swiss, the CAD, the yen, the Aussie all together. The pound, the euro, the New Zealand baseline, pretty much virtually zero movement today. And then the dollar, worst currency pair. Dollar was rough around 4:30 in the morning, 4:30 a.m. Eastern time, and returned there around 1 o'clock today, and still just sits at weakest currency of the day. Let me take a look. So if dollar is down, is gold up? Dollar's down, gold's flat. Interesting. Like this is just a weird like equities melt up. Equities melt up. What is Bitcoin doing today? Bitcoin's still up a little bit after a pretty strong push. I mean, this day was the 23rd of June. That was this week. I mean, we had a pretty strong push on Bitcoin. I don't know if it's enough to breach and run aggressively to those highs, but I can see a little bit more consolidation on Bitcoin. But to me, this does look pretty darn bullish. Low to high, a little bit of bullish. I mean, this is just a good accumulation cycle. If you're watching, like, maybe scaling in at these lows would be a pretty good spot to add and see if it gets back to the highs and then breaks the highs. So if Bitcoin has a chance to pull back again, maybe looking at these lows to scoop up a tap of those. Maybe we fill this pocket entirely. Then you can buy in around 98,000 or so. I'd take that trade up to 112. I buy in at 98. I'd buy back in anywhere in this pocket around like 80, let's say 86 to 90. And of course, I would buy back in at the 75K lows as well. Okay. Gold's not really down. It's just sideways. Gold's flat today. Probably because of the ceasefire. Also, gold's overextended. We've had a strong like 2-3 year run in gold. We have a high bar count. It's stretched almost 20+% away. I just think that from a technical measure, gold is likely going to go sideways. I think it's going to consolidate. Yep. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Ethereum, meh. Copper just ripping to the upside. I took a loss here. That was a $90 loss, no big deal. Japanese yen still sideways. This is the inverse of the dollar yen. So, if something wild happens on the Japanese yen, this currency pair, this is a really nice pattern trade. It's a deep head and shoulders. Is it possible that this is going to break the ceiling? Is the dollar yen going to break the 140 floor and drop to 120? If the dollar gets weak enough, it could happen. I mean, that might be like the big crazy fundamental move on the dollar this year is maybe the dollar yen breaks 140 and drops to 120. I do wonder if the dollar yen breaking 140 means that it's yen strength across the board, or if it's just a really aggressive amount of dollar weakness. I don't know. So we'll find out. What else? Anything on the Nikkei? Trying to get back to highs on the Nikkei, the DAX. I'd like to see a deeper pullback on the DAX. I just dragged the April lows to this recent high, trying to get like a 38% pullback on the DAX. Same thing with FTSE, low to high, try to get like a 38% pullback on the FTSE. Argentina, 200 moving average looks pretty good. China's fine. Brazil hasn't broken. I think Brazil's good. I think that the Latin America trade is good. This is all kind of emerging markets, value, repatriating dollars that didn't really have the big start like Europe did. Europe had a huge head start this year. Latin America, Brazil were kind of quiet, so that's why I was willing to kind of toss a position in there. 15% off of all-time highs. Is it that high off? I mean, we're 107, highs at 112. I don't think we're that high off, are we? We're only like 4% away from all-time highs. Oh, Bitcoin Euro? Oh, I don't know. I'm just looking at Bitcoin dollar. Bitcoin Euro. Sure. Well, I mean, dollar's been weak enough. Euro's been strong enough. But yeah, I mean, 15% away from all-time highs on Bitcoin Euro. Sure. Interesting angle of it. It's still part of the fiat system, though. Is Russell geared always? No. I mean, Russell has been way choppier, way different. You can look at the comparison. I mean, look at what the market's done the last couple of years in the S&P. S&P, NASDAQ and S&P peaked in late 2021, which the Russell did as well. Bottomed out here. We had a pretty big correction in the Russell. This was down about 33%. We had the large caps down about 30 to 35% as well. So it took all the risk in 2022. The problem is we didn't have the Mag 7 lead the Russell out of the hole and out of the valley, if you will, like we did the SPY and the Qs. So this was very late to the game to get up and test all-time highs. But since the bottom in 2022, we've made lots of new all-time highs in the S&P, lots of new all-time highs in the NASDAQ. So, I mean, the Russell is built to say, hey, look, you've got 2,000 companies that are arguably small cap, can grow aggressively. I just don't like that of these 2,000 stocks, there's a lot of them that don't make money. In this environment with higher interest rates, there's a lot of the Russell 2000 that don't make money. I think that in order for the Russell to really play catch up, the markets are going to have to see maybe 2, 3, 4 rate cuts out of the Fed. Just like we have to ease the borrowing pressure. These companies need cash. They need runway. They need debt restructuring and refinancing, and it's hard to do it with these current yields. Okay, you see EuroCAD hit 160. I didn't see that. Sure did. I mean, the technical trader in me just wants to short that. If that was a short trade, I don't know. I could see it coming right back down. But I haven't taken a stab at it yet. Pound CAD, Euro CAD, it's like right idea. Thought we'd have a little bit more, push and follow through this little correction off the divergence at 159 or almost 160, but didn't really get a. I mean, this same thing here. It's like if we hit resistance. I mean, we are making higher lows here, but even if this pulls back a little bit, I could see a pullback. So I don't know. Just be careful. They're crazy. Yeah, if you sold it, that's good. I think it's a good trade. It's a good stab. Good stab. All right, let's talk some more currencies. Aussie CAD, never got my pullback. I'm still long this currency pair. Aussie Swiss, I'm still long this currency pair. Aussie JPY, no trade. Aussie New Zealand, trying to dollar cost average in 106, 103, and the zeros at parity. Aussie dollar, you had one, that's it. Like you had that trade right there. 64 now up 150 pips. Like, I mean, I guess you just had to buy it. I didn't. I was hoping we'd have a pullback into here, and then have a swing trade. Hasn't happened yet. So I'm not gonna. I don't know. I mean, clearly it looks pretty good. Like this kind of aggressive move up. But is it going to just slowly and steadily make its way up to like 68, 68.50? Maybe. It's just I look at a currency pair like this, how it's behaving. It's just not hitting levels. I mean, this low, this high. It's like give me a pullback. Hasn't happened yet. So this is the tricky part about those pre-summer pushes. Is the market is just going to continue to maybe just push and trend higher. CAD Swiss back down to lows, getting some add-on trades here at the lows. CAD Yen, no trade. Swiss Yen broke all-time highs again. I wouldn't touch this thing or fade this thing or short this thing until we break the trend line. I don't even know if I do that. This thing after 2015, with all the Japanese yen, all the Swiss National Bank flash crash in 2015, there's no such thing as an all-time high in this pair. So just I don't know. There's probably better currency pairs if you want to trade it. Euro Aussie, no trade. Euro CAD, like Sarah said, back up to the highs. I like that trade at the highs at like 160, 1.60. Euro Swiss still holding long. Euro Pound, no trade. Euro Yen, all the way back up to recent highs. This could be an interesting one to watch. If we have, all-time highs hit again, or close to all-time highs hit again, if this just becomes a big range trade, is this going to go low to high, higher low to higher high, higher low to higher high? There could still be a buy trade in here if we pull back into this area. Maybe a little bit of pullback, buy, stop loss below the trend support, and then see if we get up to maybe this range high. I don't know, something to watch. Something to watch on the Euro Yen. Euro New Zealand, I'm going to say no trade for right now. Euro dollar has breached the 116. We're at 117 plus. Just squeezing harder as the dollar is hitting lower lows. Euro dollar hitting higher highs. Anything to look on the left? I mean, not really. If the dollar keeps getting hit, a little bit, just like tapping the dollar down, I could see Euro dollar hitting up to like 120. We have major resistance around this 122.50 to 123 zone. So let me just do something really quickly here. I can measure some symmetry. This is not really the swing that I initially saw, but if we do hit this level, we've got to be pretty close. I mean, we freaking hit symmetry. That's impressive. So never mind. I was like looking for a short. I think that symmetry actually did short originally, but yeah, this could just be just a bigger range. So I don't know. I hate buying high and I hate selling low, and dollar index is low and euro dollar is at highs. So I don't love it. Pound Aussie, meh, nothing there. Pound CAD, maybe a stab at the highs with a 1 to 1.5 ATR stop. Pound Swiss, I still like long pound Swiss. I think we still fill this pocket around 113.50. Pound Yen, scalping back up to like the 199 to 200 zone. Pound New Zealand, I'd say maybe range bound in here. Pound dollar still hasn't broken this trend line. I mean, the pound dollar's gone from 121 all the way to 137. That's a lot of pips. New Zealand CAD, I'm still long. New Zealand Swiss, I'm still long. New Zealand Yen, nothing on this one. New Zealand dollar pulled back to almost equal lows around 58.80. Just didn't pull back enough. And I still think this is open space range trading up into the 63 to 63.50 zone. I just want to. I don't know. It's hard to just like buy it and hold it. I mean, if you buy it, you got to be willing. I'd be willing to do this. Buy it here, and buy it here, and stop out below. That's where I would admit, like, man, I'm wrong. I'm wrong in that direction. Otherwise, if the dollar is going to get weaker, I think this continues to head up. Okay. Dollar CAD still using this trend line as resistance. If the dollar CAD comes back into like 134, 133, 132, maybe start looking for some technical support down there. Dollar Swiss did break some fresh lows. Yep. So below 80. Kind of patiently waiting for the right side of the trend line. Not sure if there's a hard pivot on this thing at all. We're coming back into some lows. I mean, this was the 2015 flash crash low. We're below that. Here's our intervention low back in 2011. That was at 71. Are we coming that low in the Swiss yen? I don't think so. Not with daily divergence, maybe with weekly as well. I mean, this has to be close. Weekly making fresh lows. Let me go to one more workspace and just see, are we getting oversold conditions? So dollar Swiss. I mean, daily time frame, not quite oversold. Yeah, not quite oversold. I mean, we're making fresh lows. We kind of have equal levels in momentum. It's not huge divergence. The weekly chart I'd be kind of interested in watching. Weekly chart momentum is at the lows. I'd be cautious of selling into these lows. Same thing on euro dollar, probably cautious at the highs. We don't have disagreement per se on the weekly, but we do have hidden bullish divergence. So we are oversold on the weekly and we have some divergence. Just want to be careful that we're not getting like some type of stupid dollar flash crash, which is rarely the case. I really, it's usually not been the dollars. It hasn't been the dollar's reason. Like the dollar hasn't been the flash crash basket. It's been something else to move the dollar pairs and cause those flat, like dollar yen. So the yen had a flash crash, or the Aussie had a flash crash, right? The Swiss had a flash crash. But what I'm seeing here is we are making fresh lows in price. Momentum hasn't quite given us the divergence, but relative strength has. So cautious into these lows. But again, currency-wise and seasonality, maybe we don't pivot hard until like August or September. So I will keep a close eye on this one. I still think the goal is going to find the 200 moving average, this year or early next year. So I'm just going to kind of hang tight, lower my cost base a little bit more on the dollar Swiss, and let it do its thing. Okay. All right. Let me make sure. I think I've got a run here at the top of the hour. Yep. I've got a webinar here coming up in 9 minutes. So just to make sure everyone is on the same page. If you'd like to join me for that webinar, you're more than welcome to. It's in. I'm talking about my pinch point scanner today. And let me see if that's in my, pinch point scanner. Webinar is at 4 p.m. So here it is. So if you'd like to join, here's the link. Let's post that link. So 4 p.m. webinar, you can join me there. Now we're getting pushed to 61.44. Let me check on something. I canceled this trade since we're in the last little bit of the day, but let me see what this is trading for. I did a 45 by 50. Yep. So even that trade is not offering the 275 credit that I was going after. So it's close, but we might not have enough price action. I mean, this late in the day with the final 8 minutes, I don't want to get filled and have the thing close at, let's say it squeezes up to like 61.50 and I get filled for 275. I'm still taking on the heat for a $5 spread. So late in the day, it's like, I'm not that interested in taking that fill. The goal was we get filled 275, we take it down to like $2 or less and get paid. But if we're going to squeeze, I mean, I'm watching it right now, $1.50 credit. It's kind of trading like, I mean, it's at a bit of a premium. We're only at 61.45.38, and you're getting about $1.70 for the trade right now. I would even consider this one. I don't know. I might get crazy here. I might just do 250 on this one and see if I get filled. So there's only 7 minutes left in the trade. We'd have to have a big fat squeeze to the upside in this one to get filled. But let's find out. So 250 pending order for a 61.50 by 61.55 that closes today. So basically, if this is like, tap 61.50 or 50, like tap 61.50 or 51.52 area, try to get this filled, and hopefully it will fall back below 61.50. It might not get filled though. It's offering 30 cents right now. I doubt it's going to get me filled unless we go all the way up to like 61.52 or 61.53. There's probably no chance. 4 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. So about 7 minutes. Okay, so that's what I'm at on dollar Swiss. Back to the other currency pairs. I think I did all of them. Dollar CAD, I was looking for like that 134, 33, 32. Dollar Swiss waiting for a trend line to break. We do have some oversold conditions on the weekly time frame. Dollar yen, go back to the daily chart. Just keep an eye on this one. I mean, I don't think that this is going to make a huge break yet, but watch this 140. If we break 140, 120 could be one of the currency world's favorite trades of 2025. A 2,000 pip range just beat the crap out of the dollar, and it probably happens fast. You never know. But if it doesn't break 140, then it's just going to continue to chop around and be all over the place. And that's what I'm expecting, which is why I'm not really trading the dollar yen. Okay. All right. 6 minutes remaining. Any of the charts questions? What was the one that was thrown up earlier? IRDM. I think we talked about that one. Somebody brought that up a while back. IRDM. Iridium. Josh, was it on pinch point? Was it on pinch point here? Let me see. Let me pull up my pinch point scanner. So I'm going to go all stocks, IRDM. Take a look at this thing and see if it's in a no pinch. I'm showing a no pinch, my man. So IRDM on the daily. Yep, I don't have it. So it's definitely choppy, but based on the option chain as well. IRDM, number one, do we have an option chain for it? I'm trying to load it up right now. Monthlies, kind of, not a great option chain. IV rank is okay, not great. We're only expecting like a $3 to $6 move over the next like 50 to 175 days. Just not a big mover. So, and I would imagine that the option strikes are probably $5 wide. $5 wide to the upside, $2.50 to the downside. You just don't have the precision to go after a $3 move. So, I mean, directionally, because we are coming off of this big low, I mean, directionally, it's like, well, it'd be a pretty easy trade if you just put in like a credit spread, like a 30 by 27.50. I mean, if price goes up, like that's not a bad trade, right? That's not a bad trade. IRDM. I mean, Snowflake looks okay. Price to earnings, price to sales, not awful. Fair. I mean, that's way up there. So is there risk in the trade? Of course. But if I went out to, let's say, August, I mean, I don't think I'm going to get much for July 18th. I could. If I did a 30 by 25, I mean, it's 5 wide. I'm only getting 128. That's not enough premium. If I do this, I'm not even getting a move to cover the expected move. So I definitely don't like that trade to August or July. If I go to August, 30 by 25, again, I mean, it's 5 wide. I'm only getting $1.43. It's like I can't even get like $2 for it. So I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm just going to say no. Like, I don't think the option chain looks that great. If I go to the end of the year, 30 by 25, I get $2. I'm still risking $3. I like the trade, but I don't really want to own this either, you know? So anyway, it's a good find. It's not actually like coiled. The coil, believe it or not, the coil was a little bit earlier. The coil was back in late May. So when the market was sitting around $25, that's when my pinch point scanner picked up a trade on it. That would have been back here. So in this environment, that would have been where my pinch point picked up the trade. So about $26. Now it's up, $3 to $3.50. So a little bit more of a directional push based on when I see the pinch. So just a little late. Ken, you're up at 356. Well, bless you, man. Thanks for being here. Where are you at, by the way? Are you in Asia? When I was in Singapore, that was 12 hours. 12 hours different. So. All right, I'm going to wrap up here in just a minute. We're at 61.44. I don't think I'm going to get filled on that. In fact, I like pretty sure I'm not going to. We're at 61.44. I do wonder if my earlier trade, let's get this out here. 61. So initially the trade we had on was a 61.40. Right now, the trading for, I mean, I'd be down about $50 on that trade if that was the case. And then the 45 is still only trading for 70 cents, unfortunately. So that one, your break even would be 61.42. You'd be down a couple of bucks, potentially closing out, 5 wide, and you take a loss at 225. I didn't get filled in the trade though. Just saying what it's offering right now. And we have 1 minute before the close, so I am just going to sit this one out. What are your thoughts on the value of SCHD lagging? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, dividends are definitely lagging, and it's just because there's alpha in the markets. There's growth, there's tech that tends to be a higher beta. So dividends get a lot more love when it's defensive. They get a lot more love in a low volatility environment that's not trending. This year, it's like we've just reestablished some trends and melt ups again. So when growth is back and consumer discretionary is back, and there's some other utilities like utilities and industrials and materials and energy has been all over the place. But anyway, my point is like dividends are fine. They don't get they're not very exciting, right? It's like you just kind of you want dividend stocks to kind of tread water. You want the low volatility and you just want the yield. That's what a dividend stock is designed for. It's rare that you can get a dividend stock that also goes up a lot. So I just think it's going to lag because growth is still in the driver's seat. Tech is in the driver's seat. Profit margins in the driver's seat. That's what's leading right now. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to let you go. 4 p.m. webinar. I'm jumping in. Pinch Point Scanner. All are welcome to join. Check it out. I put the webinar link there. It's prosperitypub.com/PPS. Okay. And let's come back to do it again tomorrow. All right. Thanks. Bye.